Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Randomizer. Every time I say randomizer, instinctively I want to say Nuzlocke as well. It's the weirdest thing. It's muscle memory. It's like brain memory. Last time we did the whole struggle tournament thing, and I think today we do the wonders of Twilight Town, which means that we're going to be cutting ahead quite a bit because I don't think a lot of that will be randomized. Yeah, we need to go to the train station, so that's gonna be a thing. We're going to hopefully complete, Twilight Town today is what I'm hoping to do. We, however, should not forget that there is, in fact, item boxes around here, I think, which means that there's going to be randomized items, and this is, I think, where I found the Ultima weapon in my last randomized playthrough, so let's see. It's going to be not the Ultima weapon, but it's worth checking. ID not found! And for anybody that was wondering, these VVs haven't been changed at all. They're still the exact same, and my audio is a little bit loud, so that's my speaker audio, not the actual recorded audio. That's something different. So yeah, nothing's changed here. Let's move on to whatever comes after this. I still don't have area recovery. I really do need more AP. Blizzard Armlet, that's gonna come in handy at some point. I guess when we face Vaxen again. And a Hero's Crest, we actually got a Keyblade, which means I think we should have like 2 Keyblades now, right? We've got the Struggle Hammer, which we're not gonna switch out, because if I do that, I'll show you. Let's save state. I wonder. I can equip the Guardian Soul Keyblade. And I always get mixed up with the... You see, I can equip it, and I'll be able to use the Guardian Soul Keyblade as Roxas, which looks a little bit weird. But then I can't go back and re-equip the Circle Hammer, which means that the Guardian Soul Keyblade is going to get destroyed when I change into Sora, which is a little bit of a bummer. But I do wonder what ID Not Found does as a Keyblade. It's probably one of the unused... Oh, we can actually equip area recovery now, so let's do that. It's just a Kingdom Key. Is it specifically Roxas's Kingdom Key? Wait a second. ID Not Found. It's got the stats of the Kingdom Key, I do think, yeah. Or does the Kingdom Key have 1 magic? It doesn't have any ability. Anyway, we're going to load state because we're going to stick with the Struggle Hammer. But that is something that I did want to show you real quickly. So we do have ID Not Found as a Keyblade. I was kind of hoping that... maybe that's in Kingdom Hearts 1. And I don't know if it's still there in the final mix version, but there are unused Keyblades. A different version of the Ultima weapon, I believe. But I think that's Kingdom Hearts 1, now that I mention it. So that won't be relevant here. But I do know that there's a different version of the Save the King and Save the Queen weapons for Donald and Goofy, which you can get. I think. I remember getting something like that last time around, like a the Kingdom Hearts 1 versions of Save the King and Save the Queen are still in the game somehow. I don't know why, but they are, and you can get them for Donald and Goofy, and they're pretty good, I think, as well. So maybe originally there weren't supposed to be new designs for Save the King and Save the Queen. Who knows? I couldn't find anything on the matter on Google either. So that is interesting. We'll probably run into that sooner or later, and I'll show you when it comes to that. But for right now, we're just doing the Twilight Town bullshit. I was under the impression that Shadow Roxas would not be replaced, but apparently Shadow Roxas gets replaced. With a soldier in this case. I distinctly remember seeing in the patch notes for the randomizer that wouldn't happen anymore, because apparently that sometimes bricks your game. It didn't this time, luckily. But yeah, I wasn't expecting there to be a randomization there. But I think we only have 1 more of the wonders left. And at the end of the day, I'll have done all of them on screen after all, I think. So let's just do this one on screen as well, just because we've got them all. Why not? Might as well. We've got plenty of time. There's not that much more content left in Twilight Town, and I'm probably going to end this episode once we finish Twilight Town, so there might be a little bit like less randomization going on in this episode. There's going to be plenty of randomization, because we're going to have the Axel fight, which was actual hell last time around. I only got difficult boss fights there. I think that's been all there is, right? Yeah, we go back now. Oh, no. We do not go back. We go back up to the summit of that mountain to see the ghost train. I've played this game so many times. It's kind of ridiculous and a little bit sad. It's so weird walking around these woods again after having done that in Kingdom Hearts 3 with Sora, and like there's a lot more light in here and there's no loading screen in between this area and the mansion itself, and there's a connecting tunnel between the two. It's really weird to see it in Kingdom Hearts 2 again after all that. Even though it really had no significance in Kingdom Hearts 3 whatsoever. And I should have saved. I should have saved. This could be bad because this is going to be a randomized fight, which I remember being an issue last time around. So I guess we'll say what happens here. We might have to redo all the Wonders of Twilight Town, which means I might have to redo it and cut all of that out of the video, because obviously that is what video editing is for. I didn't equip area recovery until after saving the state. So no, I do not. That's bad. Please die. You, especially with that area recovery, you deal a lot of damage. I can't use a reaction command either. It's just all around not a good time. But I do think there might be an issue with the end trigger for this fight. I remember something like that, at least. Maybe there wasn't an end trigger and you're supposed to... Okay, so first things first. We are keeping the Kingdom Key. This makes me wonder, actually, if I swap out now for... We can actually check the Kingdom Key stats. Yeah, it does have one magic. So I did not find looks like the Kingdom Key, because that's just like your default Keyblade skin, I suppose. But it doesn't act like it. So let's see, if we swap out Guardian Soul now, do I have the... I can swap that out. That is interesting. That is very interesting. So let's keep it to Guardian Soul for the time being, just because it is more powerful after all. And then go to abilities and equip area recovery as well. And don't save that state. I save stated before equipping the Guardian Soul. Just in case something breaks. I don't want anything to break. I want that save state. Oh, these are those enemies here. Which usually there's a lot of dusks. Which mean, are they all going to be bombs? They're all going to be bombs. They're not all going to be bombs. Never mind. I've got the Guardian Soul though and area recovery, so I think I'll be fine. I gotta remember to unequip the Guardian Soul before going into the final Axel fight, because I don't know if it'll destroy once I go into being Sora. It might not. I honestly don't have a clue. For the Axel fight, we'll have Oathkeeper and Oblivion dual wield anyway. That doesn't get randomized. There might actually... Do you think there's an equipable item that crashes the game? Yeah. Not that crashes the game, but the game did just crash, so let me reload that. So this time around, I'm using the Kingdom Key just because there might be something with Roxas not having the Kingdom Key and cutscenes, which breaks the game or something like that. We're doing things to this poor game, which it was never meant to be used for. So does the game crash again here, or it still crashes, it seems like? No, it doesn't. It just takes a while to load. Okay, so it must have been something with the Guardian Soul Keyblade, I'm guessing, because I obviously don't have that, and it's the only difference. So I wonder why. Maybe I should just not try to break anything too bad until I've got the Kingdom Hearts 2 skin for Sora as well. Because the moment I go and be Sora, I'm still wearing a different outfit, which means I'm technically using a different 3D model, which means that there's no animations for most of the attacks, which is a little bit too bad. Because reaction commands, a lot of them just don't work with Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora and this, which is weird because you'd assume that the limit form model is just the Kingdom Hearts 1 model. But apparently, Limit Form actually has a separate model from the Kingdom Hearts 1 clothed version of Sora you have at the beginning of the game. Because Or can you not do reaction commands as... You can definitely do reaction commands as limit form Sora. I'm like 99% sure. Can I please heal? I don't have guard equipped. Large bodies. Turns out, a bit of an issue when you don't have high jump or anything like it. So yeah, let's just get the fuck out of here is what I'm gonna do. Where is the exit to this place? I don't even care about any of your business. I just want to get the frick out of here. Because, oh, I remember grinding in the mansion last time around. That was fun. It was not fun. So, I used this room for grinding last time around because the fight I was trying to win against instead of Axel was Sephiroth, of all fucking things. So, yeah, hopefully I won't have to do that again, because I went all the way up to like level 11 or 12 with Roxas, at which point, apparently AP boost, exactly what I need. Oh, there's another chest over there, and a defense increase. Not exactly what I needed, but it's very, very welcome, and a summon boost, which is a ability in... Oh, it's an ability in a chest. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Let's get out of here. So, hopefully that won't be necessary. And apparently, maybe just because Sephiroth was that powerful, it didn't make a difference. But beyond a certain level, I didn't really see... Oh, that's good. That's good to have. And that is not good that that happened to me. Let's go to the save point first and then open those chests. Never mind. My HP was restored because I died. That's how this game works. I remember now. Yeah, Leaf Brace is a very good ability to find in that chest, by the way. So, I don't know what I was talking about anymore. There's another chest around here, though, and there's a lot of heartless that I can kill. I'm ignoring them for the time being. Another ID not found. I wonder if it's a Keyblade again. Or if it's a different kind of item this time. We're going to find out as soon as I feel safe, which is right about now, because there's going to be a cutscene which we can skip. Let's, Technician's Ring. And a tent. Let's check out the other ID not found. I'm going to... This time it's an item. This time it is an item. So let's save here, just like to be safe. Let's kill a couple of these enemies at least this time around, just because I think I could maybe potentially use another level up. That probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to get, honestly, because... Dude... I'm scared about what this boss fight is going to be we're about to face. Last time around, all of my patches, and last time around I had way more patches than I have now. All of them were like big issues. We had Malusha, we had Lingering Will, we had Sephiroth, we had Zoldin, Data Zoldin. So, and most of those are not made to be fought with dual wield Roxas. Anything that requires you being able to block, or like anything that like requires any kind of animation from Roxas, specialized animation that is, at all, like reaction commands, just become impossible. Just because Roxas does not have that animation set. While, I mean, I understand how games work to a certain extent, but I'd be very, like, happy if... The model for Roxas and the model for Sora aren't that dissimilar, so I am assuming that the rigging would just work with different animations, it's just not programmed to. But if you would force the animations for Sora's model to work on Roxas's model, I'm assuming that most of them would work, because I'm assuming that a lot of the attack animations they use, they didn't make two separate ones. They just used the same animation data on different models. But it probably just wasn't programmed in for all the animations that are Sora specific to work on Roxas, even though they probably wouldn't look that bad. That's my guess, anyway. I don't know the ins and outs of how this game was made. But we're about to face whatever the actual fight turns into. So let's save state as well. We did a normal save, but never can be too safe. And if I can just reset with load state, that's a lot quicker. Okay, defeat all of the enemies. This should not be as big of an issue. It doesn't look like these are very difficult enemies to deal with. It's just a boss fight that I'm scared about. And none of these enemies seem to be the... Okay, maybe the Centaur is a bit of an issue, and the Shaman actually as well. But none of them seem to be impossible to kill or like break the game. There's the one Heartless from the Barbosa fight, which sometimes can spawn outside of bounds, and if that happens, you're just fucked if you need to kill all of the enemies. That doesn't happen this time around. Last time around when I did this randomizer thing, that has happened like 3 times to me by now, and I'm getting quite a lot of damage on me. So can I please... Okay, I'm going to switch targets to you, because you're also annoying me, and now you're dead. Okay, so now I just need to... not die. Let's do that again. And here we are back again, and we're gonna get fucking demolished again, I'm very sure, because these are very annoying enemies to deal with. But we can make it. This might be more difficult than the actual boss fight, hopefully. Oh, there's more enemies. There's more enemies. I forgot about the fact that there's more than 4 enemies. There's not that many more enemies, it looks like, so we should be fine. Okay, that was everything there was to this portion of the fight. Now the actual boss fight. I am terrified. You're gonna turn into Zigbar. Okay, that is an issue. That is an issue, because... yeah, that's and it's Data Zigbar as well, because why the fuck wouldn't it be? Yeah, I think we're gonna load a different patch, because this doesn't seem very possible, does it? I guess with a different patch, that means that these enemies are also different. This seems like way less of an issue though, so I'm actually kind of okay with that. Does this reaction command? No, it does not. Never mind. I was gonna say, does this reaction command work with Roxas? Because the animation for it isn't that complicated, but it's not just based on how complicated the animation is. Just Roxas is not programmed to have the reaction commands with those enemies. Well, Sora is, because Roxas is not supposed to run into these enemies. So that makes certain enemies much more difficult to deal with. That being said, this like enemy set was generally a lot easier to deal with than the first randomization set I had. So let's see what Axel turns into in patch number 2. Why is it always organization members? You are the normal... okay, you're normal Psyx though. That should make things a little easier, except the fact that you're probably going to be stuck in rage mode like forever. And I don't have any more potions. Yeah, having no potions is actually like the main issue here. Let me try that again, because I feel like it might be, cursor, possible to block you after all. Maybe it's not. I don't think it is. I think without the... yeah, it doesn't seem possible to, like... but I can damage him. So theoretically, this should be possible if I play, like, frame perfect. Yeah, that does damage him. It's fucking impossible to time right. I don't know if it's impossible to time right. It's just tremendously difficult. I can damage him, so if I had enough potions, which I clearly don't, I could probably get him down like a bar. Let's see if I have any more potions in my inventory, because if I do, I want to give that another shot. I don't think I do. I've got the AP boost, which isn't going to help me at all here. I guess I've got the Technician's Ring, which increases my AP, and then I've got the Blizzara Armlet, which literally, like, okay, it increases my defense, I suppose. I don't know if Dodge Roll will work as Roxas is the issue. That is a clear answer. You, in fact, cannot use Dodge Roll as Roxas. Kinda figured you couldn't, but it was worth checking. This time at least 2 of the enemies are shadows, which makes my job a whole lot easier. Like, ridiculously so. It technically gives me less experience, but experience aren't going to, like, be a deal breaker right here, right now, so that doesn't really matter too much. What are the other enemies? Okay, you are not that big of an issue, and the other one is a dragon, which... is it dragon or dragoon in this game, actually? I think the dragons... I'd never know the difference in, like, Final Fantasy, and maybe, like... other fantasy stuff. I didn't save state. Doesn't matter. There's dragons and there's... hey, you are... Zigbar again. That is very strange. But you're a different Zigbar. I think... no, the other one was also Data Zigbar. Huh. Well, there's no way in hell that I'll be able to do this. But that is strange. I guess that's randomization for you. Sometimes it randomizes into the same thing. We're going to go for the save randomization now, because I ain't doing that. Here we are back again with these enemies. This time 2 bombs. Again, that makes my job a whole lot easier. And they give more experience than the shadows. So that is kind of strange, because they're even easier to take out in my opinion. And then there's, okay, those trumpet guys actually very annoying. Not so much in this game. In Chain of Memories, they're so annoying to deal with in Chain of Memories, because they heal a lot more and a lot quicker. And they're pretty tough to break in Chain of Memories as well. This game, not that big of an issue, because you can just like walk towards them and absolutely annihilate them. Save state. Let's see. What are you going to turn into this time, Axel? That doesn't seem possible. That doesn't seem possible at all. Maybe it is? Actually, it might be. Because you don't have a lot of HP, I don't think. Okay, this is very crowded, but not impossible by any means, I'd say. You do like no damage at all, so I think we'll be fine. I think we can do this. As long as you... I don't have any reaction commands to do this with though, so that is a bit of a bummer. And I don't have any tornadoes to soar up to you, but I think sooner or later you're gonna come down and let me hit you. Oh, that is your full HP bar. I just noticed that my little cursor was red. I was like, that doesn't seem like the actual boss HP then. Spoiler, it wasn't. This is the actual HP for the boss, which still is a little less than it is usually when you fight him, because obviously we're a lower level. But it's still a lot for this point in the game. Look, the fact that I'm skipping all of these boss fights so much is entirely down to the size of this arena. A lot of the boss fights in the game just don't work in this small of an arena, because this is one of the smallest arenas in the game. And he just like never re-enters this arena. So I'm going to load a state and see if I can land on him somehow. I probably can't, but it's worth checking. Yeah, no, he immediately takes off. I did hit him though, but that's probably all the damage I'm ever going to be able to do to him, because I just don't have the functionality or the room in this arena to deal with him. So we're just going to do the normal Axel fight here, and hopefully this is going to be one of the few / the only time that is necessary. Again, other fights have way bigger arenas, which makes it way less of a pain to deal with. This is probably like literally the smallest arena in the game for a boss fight. So a lot of the other boss fights just like kind of break in here, which... If Twilight Thorn didn't get randomized, why the fuck did this get randomized? I don't understand. Would you look at that, it's 4 dusks, that's something. So weird, how did it randomize into 4 dusks? That's usually what's here as well, and what are the odds? Okay, maximum HP increase is what you get for this. That took me an entirety of like 2 minutes at most. Very quick. I am playing on beginner mode, by the way. I should have mentioned that last episode. But some of these things are going to end up being so impossible that beginner mode is going to be required. There is a chest in here, which is the main reason that I wanted to re-randomize. I think there might even be 2 chests, honestly. That's MP Haste Guard. That's very good to have. It's going to be very good to have, because I feel like once we get Cure, we're going to be using Cure a lot. And having MP Haste Guard to, well, haste up the MP recharge, that's going to be a real good thing for us. So now we are Sora, we're done with Goofy in our party. Let's go immediately equip that ability as well. We don't really need Leaf Bracer yet, just because obviously we don't have any curing abilities yet. But we don't have any magic in general, so MP Haste Guard really doesn't do a lot. I didn't even know MP Haste Guard worked as a normal ability. I thought that was only on weapons. Huh. But now we can actually... I probably still can't do dodge roll because we're still Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Okay, so... we're in a different Twilight Town now, which means that all the chests we opened as Roxas are in fact not opened. So there's a lot of randomized items to go pick up, I think. So I'll just have a quick look around if I can spot any chests which we can quickly open. There's also the other part of Twilight Town which we can't go to at the moment, I don't think. Which has a lot of items as well. I won't go around finding every single chest in every single world. Combination boost, that doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. But I will try to just like go out of my way to get like 1 or 2 more chests than I usually would in normal gameplay. Just because... Oh, those are still the bees. I don't really care about the bees. Just because they could be something useful. They could be the ultimate weapon. They could be the size of pumpkin. They could be final form. All of those things. And more. Could be in chests. So I do want to find as many of the chests as possible. And Air Combat Plus is a fairly good ability, especially to have this early on. And Twilight Town is fairly dense with the chests you can find. So I think it's worth a little bit of time to just roam around a little bit, find a couple of chests, and then move on. Just like that! Just like that. Let's see. Items, Goofy. Wow. That has... Protect Guard? I didn't even know Protect Guard was a thing. And 9 strength. That's pretty much, I think, the strongest thing Goofy can get. And we got it in a chest. That's exactly why I wanted to go find these chests, because they can be ridiculously overpowered at times. I think that paid off. And I think there's only like 1 more chest in this area. And then there's also the underground, but I don't even think we can go into the underground yet, can we? We can. There is chests in there as well, which means we can go to the other part from the flame. Other part of Twilight Town as well. No, we can't go there yet. We can only go there once we come back to Twilight Town the second time around. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. I would have liked going in there, finding some more items, but hey, this leaves something to do the second time in Twilight Town, right? Because there's also going to be more items in the train station itself, so there's plenty of things to discover, and there's going to be Yensid's Tower as well, which I want to do in this episode. I don't know, I feel like this has been a very long episode already. The recording session is shorter than the last episode, but I feel like the commentary and like the things that are not being cut out, there's a lot denser, there's a lot less downtime in this recording. So I think we might already be longer than last episode at this point, while I'm like half an hour away from the length of the recording last time. But I'm going to do the Yensid's Tower as well today, so that next time we can properly finish off and go to Hollow Bastion. This is usually an endless amount of heartless, by the way, or nobodies, by the way, so maybe I'm not supposed to be killing them all? I don't know. Oh, they just spawn more. Nah, we're fine, they just spawn more. They're fairly difficult to deal with. Donald still has cure. That is such a big deal. Honestly, a huge deal. The moment I get cure, I will be fine, but until then we're going to be heavily reliant on Donald. As always, obviously. Huh. That reaction command worked with current Sora. Which makes sense, because usually you go up Yensid's Tower and there's soldiers there which you can use Cyclone on. Okay. That is all that is as far as enemies here, so we just wait now? Question mark? Usually this is a timed kind of thing. Yeah, it is. But my game crashed. Oh, last time I didn't even see that chest. That was a manifest illusion. I didn't save after getting all the items, so I have to re-get all the items. And I'm noticing some new chests now, so at least there's that. We've got a manifest illusion, which is going to be useless because hell, I'm not going to synthesize anything. I'm expecting the synthesis recipes to be randomized as well. Also, my jumping is all messed up because emulator input delay is a thing. And it's a Master's Ring, huh. This time I'm trying not to kill every last enemy. I'm kind of afraid that Donald and Goofy are going to take care of him though, but there shouldn't be enough time for just Donald and Goofy to kill him. Maybe that is what caused the crash last time around, I don't know. I'm just going to time it a little bit Because I think this is supposed to be a time-based encounter. If not, we'll just kill him and hope that we don't crash. Okay, so it is a time-based encounter. And this time around, I didn't crash. Whether that was a staff, I think, for Donald. And a fire rub angle. And a divine bandana. So that's 3 items. That is very good. Usually, I think you get the money here. You got... What else do you get? I don't know. I know what we do get, though, is more chests here. I think there's 2 more chests in here. One over there and one all the way over there. No, there's 3 more chests. Okay, so what do you have for me? You've got Slow 3. Still don't know what that is. You've got Disney Castle map. That is not very useful for me right now. Or at all, actually. And then last but certainly maybe least... We have a Mega Elixir, so that's definitely not least. Now we go to the Entit's Tower. So let's save state and let's go talk to you. Not you. Let's go talk to you. We need to talk to Donald because he's the only one not walking around. It's Kingdom Hearts 2, okay? Actually, playing this makes me want to play Kingdom Hearts 3 again a little bit more because... As much as like I have critiques about that game, the movement in that game is so smooth and the combat is so satisfying. It's not necessarily like better than this game, but it's definitely more satisfying. And we get another Hero's Crest. I think last time we tried what happens when we equip 2 of the same Keyblade on a form, and I think that crashes the game, but we're definitely gonna try again because that seems like it could be a lot of fun. And the shadows didn't get randomized. Huh. That is interesting. Why did the shadows not get randomized? Because it's an infinitely spawning amount? Is that it? No, it's not. So why did they not get randomized? Probably because it's just a lot of them, and if they all turn into like sorcerers, you'd be dead. But that's kind of like part of the fun of a randomizer, isn't it? So... You shouldn't have not randomized those. Serenity Gem. Isn't there also a big chest somewhere around here with a map? I seem to remember a map somewhere around here. Okay, maybe not. Let's save state here. Just because I want to be able to properly save if I have any crashes or anything. So rather than doing that immediately, I save state first. And then when I need to reload, I can like do that. Is that a smart idea? No, but it saves time, potentially. Or it costs more time, depending on what ends up happening. But so far, this doesn't seem as bad as my first randomization. Maybe my first randomization patches were just very unlucky. Maybe I'm getting very, very lucky in these ones. I don't know, but I'm kind of okay with it. Either way, these rooms also were an issue last time around. It doesn't seem like these enemies will be a big issue, though. So that potentially will be a good sign for me. And oh, the dragon is a potential issue. Because if they go underground, I don't have a reaction command to get them back above ground yet. So that's not a good time for me. And of course, the last one left is a sorcerer. Because they're so goddamn fucking annoying. As are dancers, and dancers can still T-pose me, so please don't dance with me. It's a real weird request to ask from an anime. We're about to level up as well, which means that I really love the fact that the black and white heartless actually are... I got glide. I got glide level 1 out of that. Wait a second, can you get... Could I potentially get glide level 4 and then level 1? I'm assuming it just like gives you glide and then it checks do you already have glide? And if so, do glide plus 1? I'm assuming that's how it works, but I am not entirely sure. As soon as we are Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora, I am definitely equipping both dodge roll and glide, because glide is very, very nice to have for maneuverability, especially with some of the boss fights. We're doing this again, aren't we? Well, shit. I don't know why this happens. This happened last time around as well. This just kind of sometimes happens. So I guess we'll do all of that again. There are different enemies, so that is a good start, but it's probably going to end up being a similar / the same issue. I don't exactly know why that happens, but the second wave just refuses to spawn for whatever reason, so usually there's 5 enemies at spawn here, 4 shadows and 1 soldier, and before we had 4 enemies, so I guess the fact that one of them got randomized into nothingness is what prevented the second wave from spawning. I just realized Goofy doesn't have his other shield on, so let's... what a slow 3. Delete. And the final little stretch of this tower, which I don't think has any... Never mind! I was going to say, which I don't think does have any enemies, but clearly it does. I'm going to ignore those, I think. I'm already almost done with them. Might as well finish them off now. Which means it's time to open this chest, which is a big chest, which contains the ukulele charm for summoning Stitch, which we're never gonna use. Exciting times. And let's go get the Valor form, which is going to be randomized into something else, obviously. It's not going to be Valor form. It's going to be nothing yet, because you need to trigger a cutscene for that. There's a chest around here. Yeah, there is. Drive recovery. Only useful if you actually have the drive forms, which we don't yet. And we might not for a while. So let's see what we get here. Save the Queen Plus. A Lucid Shard. But we also got Save the Queen Plus, which is definitely the more important part of the deal there. So let's equip that on Donald. Yeah, I don't actually have drive abilities. Thank you very much for telling me how this works, but I don't have any of those. And Save the Queen Plus. MP Rage. 9, not 9. Yeah, 9 Strength and 15 Magic. It's the best thing for Donald. So we've got one of the best things for Goofy and the best item for Donald. We finished Twilight Town. Next episode, we are getting started in Hollow Bastion. Until then, I'm a vlogger. You've been awesome. As always, bye.